Hey there, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about something fascinating, modern advertising. We're going to break down how it went from, just a simple one-way shout to the super sophisticated two-way conversation that it is today. So let's just dive right in. All right, let's start with a question I know you've asked yourself. Why do ads feel like they know you? I mean, it's happened to all of us, right? You're talking to a friend about, I don't know, a new pair of hiking boots, and bam, the next thing you know, your social media feed is just flooded with ads for them. It's kind of creepy. Well, I promise you, it isn't magic. It's actually the result of this long evolution in how brands talk to us. And to really get it, we've got to go way back. So you might find this kind of surprising, but advertising, it actually started as a personal dialogue. Yep, a conversation. It was only much later that it turned into this huge, impersonal monologue. Let's dig into how that all went down. Okay, so picture this. You're living in an early American settlement. It's a small, tight-knit kind of place. If you need, say, a new pair of shoes, you're not clicking add to cart. No way. You're walking down to the local shoemaker, the craftsman. You'd have a real conversation with him. He'd know you, he'd know your needs, and he'd make something literally just for you. See, trade back then was all about that two-way exchange, built on real personal relationships. But then everything started to change. This is what we can call the Great Disconnect. First up, the Industrial Revolution hits in the mid-1800s. All of a sudden, you've got mass-produced stuff coming out of these huge, distant factories. Then fast forward to the 20th century, and boom, mass media arrives. Radio, television. Now, manufacturers could just blast out one single message to millions of people all at once. And just like that personal connection was basically severed. And I mean, this shift was just massive. Think about it. We went from a two-way dialogue to a one-way monologue, from custom-made goods tailored just for you to generic, mass-produced products. And maybe the biggest change of all, we went from having a personal relationship with someone you knew to a totally anonymous transaction with some faceless manufacturer far away. And yeah, this created a whole new world of problems. So what was that problem? Well, this new era of one-way mass advertising led straight to what the industry calls a crisis of clutter. Just imagine it. Suddenly, everyone was shouting, and that meant pretty much nobody could be heard. This whole thing created what you could call an age of anonymity. When every single brand is just yelling the same generic message, what happens to their image? It just erodes. And our attention as consumers, it gets totally splintered. I mean, you've got so many nearly identical products out there. So brand loyalty? Forget about it. It just disappears. Because really, why would you be loyal to some anonymous product you have absolutely zero connection with? Okay, so things are looking pretty messy, right? A total crisis of clutter. How in the world did the industry solve this? Well, it took a completely new way of thinking, a radical new philosophy, basically a revolution, and it's known as Integrated Marketing Communication, or for short, IMC. So what exactly is IMC? Well, you can also think of it as relationship marketing, and that name really says it all. The whole point is to bring that dialogue back. The goal is to use every single tool in the toolbox to deliver a consistent and, this is the key part, a personalized message. See, this isn't about just making one sale. Nope, it's about building a real long-term relationship by bringing you, the individual, into a genuine back-and-forth exchange. And really, when you boil it all down, everything about IMC, all the data, the strategy, the fancy tech, it's all designed to answer one single simple question, and it's from your point of view. That question is, what's in it for me? Because if an ad can't answer that question for you personally, it's not marketing. It's just more noise, more clutter. All right, so that's the big idea. But how does it actually work in the real world? What's in the modern marketing playbook that lets a huge corporation have what feels like a personal, one-on-one conversation with millions and millions of people, all at the same time? Well, it all pretty much rests on three giant pillars. First, there's research. And I don't just mean knowing your age and where you live. I mean intimately understanding your needs, your wants, your whole lifestyle. Second, you've got databases. This is like the brand's memory, right? It stores all this personal info, your purchase history, everything needed to personalize the messages. And third, the game changer, the internet. This is the tech that finally made a real, interactive, two-way conversation possible on a massive scale. And these three things working together, that is the engine that makes ads feel like they know you. And this really shows a huge change in how companies think. The old way, traditional advertising, was what we call an inside-out approach. A company makes a product, and then they just push a message out to try and sell it. Simple. But IMC, that's outside in. It completely flips the script. It starts with you, the consumer, and asks, hey, what do you actually need? What do you want? And only then are the products and the messages designed specifically to answer that question. Now, to make all of this happen, IMC has to act like a kind of orchestra conductor for something called the promotional mix. And that's just a fancy term for all the different tools a brand uses to communicate. So we're not just talking about one instrument like a single TV ad. No, it's about strategically coordinating everything: PR, social media, maybe even direct mail, and making sure every single piece is playing in perfect harmony to deliver that one consistent, personal message. And believe me, the channels they use can get super creative. I mean, we're talking about thinking way outside the box. The whole idea behind IMC is that basically any point of contact is a chance to communicate. So a shopping cart, that's not just a cart, it's a mobile billboard. The sidewalk, a canvas. Bathroom stalls, ticket stubs, even the nozzle on a gas pump. It's all about finding those unexpected, maybe even surprising moments to keep that conversation going. So, after all of this, the databases, the research, the ads on gas pumps, what is the ultimate goal? What's the whole point of all this effort? Well, it might not be what you think. Because the real goal here, it isn't just about one sale. It's about the relationship. It's about building genuine, lasting brand loyalty. That's when you, with a consumer, favor one brand so reliably that you pick it over all the others, almost automatically. Think about it from the company's side. A loyal customer already trusts you. They already get your value. It is so much more cost-effective to keep a happy customer than it is to constantly be shouting to get the attention of new ones. So to wrap this all up, let's just recap the huge journey we've been on. Traditional advertising, the old way, was all about a one-way monologue shouted at a huge mass audience. The goal? Make a sale. The message? Totally generic. But IMC flipped all of that. It's a two-way dialogue with you, the individual. The goal isn't a sale, it's building a relationship. And the message has to be personalized and relevant. It's really that simple. It's the massive shift from shouting at a crowd to talking with a person. And that brings everything right back around to you. Now that you know the playbook, just think about your own life for a second. Which brands out there do you feel actually get you? Which ones have really gone beyond that old school monologue and have managed to build a real dialogue, a real relationship with you? Seriously, think about it. Because the answer to that question, well, that's the story of modern advertising in action, right there.